Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Cars LLC. Garage Mechanic on Dirty since 2018. So, on today's episode, you see that? Yeah. Alright, so, today we have a 2001 Chevy Tracker. How many of you guys out there have seen one of these things in this type of condition? Well, body's in pretty good shape. I think this is a Southern car. Not really sure, but I was told it was. However, neglect. So, we have multiple issues with this car. And I'm just going to start for starters. Yeah, it needs shocks and struts. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me for a second. I'm about to sneeze. Bad time for this. Excuse me. Bless me. So check engine light is on. And EGR, low flow. So I've seen videos about this, where they're located. Not the good place to put it. Thank you, stupid GM engineers. Or should I say Isuzu engineers, because this is a trooper on Chevy badging. Did the brakes. Brakes are done. Well, actually, I just did an inspection and clean and adjust the drums. Rusty ridges, that's for sure. But overall, if you look inside, it looks in pretty decent shape. So, got 4x4. Don't know if that works very well. That's to be determined. I could say the cruise control works, but kind of weird. The button switch is right here, and then you gotta press this button and then press up to set the cruise, or I think it's, set the cruise is either down or up, I forgot what. But it's kind of weird how they set that up. That's kind of weird. So as I was saying, air conditioning's got an issue. Where the fuse is for AC is right here. AC, it's a 20 amp fuse, which blew. Put a 20 in there, it blew. Put a 25 just for shits and giggles, it blew. So it blows when the moment you turn the AC on. So that tells you something's causing this to act up. Not sure, because I came down here and then I see a wire. Now I just did this just to keep it going. This wire is loose. Actually, I believe this is the power wire to the air compressor to actually cause the engagement. Now I don't know if the wire is maybe frayed down there. See, I already pulled it off, and look at that. So there's supposed to be a terminal cover on this thing, I think, and that plugs right into this thing. So now I gotta retest that. Maybe short to ground because of this wire. Who knows? But I know it works for it. When I first did it and after putting the fuse, it did work for a few minutes, and then it blew. So I have a feeling it's an electrical issue. Maybe somewhere right here where the problem is. Could be a switch. Could be the inside the dash, the actuation switch that's there, or control module they call it. But I'd rather start here first because this looks very suspicious. Now, the EGR low flow, it all started, how you say, also, I don't know, I wouldn't say playful, but I wanted to look at what the throttle body looks like, and that thing looks like shit. Man, I mean, that's a lot of carbon that's been sitting there for a while. So I try to get this out right now, but right now this cable's stuck. So on it, and I try to get some, PV blaster to try to fray it up, move it up and down. But with that being said, seeing that, it made me tell me that EGR might be clogged, or the ports, or the unit. So yeah, if you look over here, now you see what I'm doing. I literally tore the whole upper plenum off, which wasn't that bad, but it wasn't fun either. And knowing these bolts, these are very, very delicate. Like, if they become rusty, forget it. These things will break off very easily. They're not like really, I don't know what kind of material these bolts and stuff are, but they're not the greatest shape. So you have to do a lot of lubrication to get these to come out right. So yeah, it's so stupid. You got bolts underneath the plenum that you have to get at. If you didn't have like swivels, there's no way in heck you would be able to get this. There's a bracket that goes sitting right here that attaches to the plenum. That's annoying. That shouldn't go there, but that's for additional strength, I guess, to keep it up. And there's another one that's right here that goes across, another bar. So, and that's this one right there. So, again, I think that's over-engineered and really dumb. Now, where the EGR sits, it's back here by the firewall. The bolts that attach to it, it goes this way, where my fingers are pointing. So, to have access to it is kind of difficult to get. And I've seen, again, YouTube videos showed them how they get it. If you didn't have a ratcheting wrench, like a 12 millimeter, like this one, and, to get back there and loosen it up, you won't be able to remove it too long because it's so close to the firewall and everything that's in the way. But I knew there was going to be a problem here because how everything is so rusty in here. So I said, you know what? We're going to clean not only we're going to replace the EGR valve, but we're going to also clean the ports, the throttle body. So I decided, you know what? I told the customer we're going to do everything. We're going to clean it really good. Make sure the flow is good and straight. We're going to clean the pipe, the tube. So here we are at the plenum. Now the plenum, this is still a bit warm, but it's pretty dirty on a couple of the back ports. So I'm going to try to clean that out. And here's the tube, which I want to remove. I'm going to remove it anyways and clean it out. And then we got the EGR where it sits is back there. See that? There's the EGR port. So, yeah, there you go. Now, here is the EGR valve, this piece of junk. Look at this thing. It's caked in there. It's pretty heavy, too. This is an electronically controlled EGR valve. Now, these things are freaking expensive. Rock Auto's selling them for over $200. Anywhere else, you're almost touching $300. Aftermarket's like $125. Would I touch aftermarket? No. I stick with GM. Just because I don't plan on replacing this twice if an aftermarket ends up going crappy. So I want to make sure. Now here's the thing, again, what I said about crappy bolts, and I try heating these damn things. So you got cast iron to aluminum. What does that do between the two? They don't work very well, especially oxidation surfaces that comes from aluminum. And I busted plenty of bolts because of that, even when heating. And sure enough, there you go. You got one that's busted right here after heating and going back and forth, trying to walk it out, massage it. Still broke. Then you got another one with, guess what? Threads are stripped that goes inside. So, so now I got to rethread these things. Thank God I took this plenum up, because if I was to do this on the car and I explained it to the customer, it's better to take this off than to have it do it on there, because there's no way I can tap and die, rethread it on the car. So I'm glad I got it off to do that. I knew this was going to happen, and I saw this coming, because what happens with these bolts, they stretch from in there. So as you're walking it out, trying to go in and out, and as you keep turning, it just starts pulling the metal from metal and breaks. So there you go. So shitty engineering. They should have made this intake, I would say, as a two-piece design. They could easily have done it. They could have a gasket on top of a plenum. If I was an engineer, I would have designed it so much differently. It says here's the base, here's the runners, right here the runners. Then you put the throttle body assembly from the top, and just you could have cut this and made it into a two-piece intake design. Got a gasket here, gasket there, but no, they want it all one piece. Pain in the ass to do. Too many attachments. You can see there are bolts that holds like a bracket underneath. So it's mind-blowing horseshit engineering, again, from, well, I like to say GM, but this is Isuzu. So an import engineered this garbage. So what the time to do the intake plenum removal is calling for 4 hours based on all data. I was able to remove it, to R&R, basically. I was able to do it in maybe about an hour and a half, since I had all the tools that I need. Thank God I got all the tools, because otherwise I'd be pissing myself. But that's all done, and I'm just waiting for parts to come in to put it back together. Hopefully it'll be easier to put it together. Not all the time is the case. I got the injector rail off too because because it's part of the thing that you got to remove. Here's the injector rail assembly. I get new O-rings for it as well that comes with the kit. Now the kit, there's not really a real kit out there. What it is just, what I did is bought what's it called? Cylinder head gasket kit. So basically, there's the gasket for the cylinder head, but it comes with a timing cover, which I notice is starting to leak. So I'm gonna actually end up, as much as I don't want to do it, I'm gonna probably end up replacing that. And then everything else that comes with it, all the gaskets, like the throttle body gasket, the EGR tube gasket, the EGR valve gasket, the gasket that goes for the. There's another one and the O-rings. So it's funny how it didn't, as I wanted only an upper plenum kit, but no, you have to buy it with the cylinder head head gasket. So that's the only way you can order it. I don't know why. It's just stupid how they did it. So it's not that expensive. I think it's a Pro kit, so it's good enough for me. So, but this is what entices. Just wanted to show you how it looks. It looks like a mess even from this. I mean, you stand back and it looks, man, it's not bad, but with the way I'm looking at it right now for the viewfinder, it looks like a lot. For a 4-cylinder, you know. You think that a full cylinder shouldn't be this difficult to do. And this thing's got a lot more work to be done too. I got to diagnose why the AC system is shortened now, God. Window track motors. He wants new window tracks, which I didn't order. So I'm going to have to order that now. More stuff he wants me to do. But and the cylinders. So this is another thing. These are bad. So, and the key can't fit in there, and it's supposed to work with ignition, the key in the back. So both the passenger and driver side don't work. So now I need to find new key cylinders, and obviously they're discontinued from GM. I don't know how aftermarket has them, but of course you have to have a separate set of keys. Yeah, so much fun with this thing, He bought it, I forgot for how much, a little over $2,000, and he's probably going to put another 15 into it. So just, it is one of those things. It's a job, so trying to do the right thing for the customer. Wasn't trying to find anything more expensive. Oh boy, guess what? I found something else. Oh boy. Yeah. So look at this. Somebody did this. So the shroud, you see there's these zip ties. They're attached to anything. There's supposed to be a little, like a square wedge that has where you can put a bolt that goes through here. So I think this radiator was changed once, maybe. But there's no reason as to why this shroud should be this loose. See that? Here, probably this is better over here. Well, you can't really see it. But this shouldn't be moving. Not at all. So whoever did it beforehand didn't do it right. Now on top of it too, we also got, man, I wish I could get another light, but the fan belt's loose. You can barely see my hand, but the fan belt's very loose, and the belt's already is frayed up pretty bad. It's torn really bad. That's got to get placed. The tensioner is bouncing like crazy. The idler looks like it's cooked. So I got a got a serpentine belt kit that's coming from Gates. So all that's going to get replaced. 2 new belts. I'm going to get that adjusted, and then new idler, new tensioner. So again, more money thrown into this, but at least we won't lose power steering, charging, or air conditioning. So we'll be good. Or the fan, overheating. That's one thing you don't need too. But yeah, I mean, I have a feeling this customer probably used bad gas. Because that shouldn't be at all. I've seen dirty throttle bodies, but that thing is baked on there really good. That would explain why the EGR is low flow. I bet there's so much carbon deposits that it clogged the whole thing, and there's no flow coming back. So, and it probably caked up the system, and now it senses it and says, no, I can't work. So, and why would I want to clean it out? There's no way I'm going to want to clean that out. Even if I wanted to, the solenoid is probably stuck in some position. So no. Placement, clean that out, put it all together, run it to the ground and see if it works, right? No, I know it will. It will fix the problem. So, Alright, that's it, everybody. Just want to show you this, and I'm sorry I made this video a little more than, wow, 15 minutes. Keep going. I need to wet my whistle right now. Alright, later, everyone. Bye.